Okay, this is the Roland G-707 guitar synth controller, and I'm going to put this guitar in the either you love it or hate it category, but there's a whole lot to love about this guitar. These guitars were produced by Roland in the mid-80s. I believe they were built in the same factory that built the other Roland guitars, the same factory that was building guitars for Ibanez at the time, and it's a really great instrument. They were really expensive, and it was a real commitment on Roland's part to come out with this guitar. This is a company that remains, primarily that you know them because of their synthesizers, and sometimes when you tell people you have a Roland guitar, the usual response is, "Did they make guitars?" And they did. So this guitar is kind of sort of a hybrid instrument. In a lot of ways, it's a super strat. There's the 25.5-inch scale neck. The headstock to me looks like it wants to be a reverse strat type Jimi Hendrix idea with the tuning keys along the bottom. Of course, the most obvious feature about the guitar, other than its very unusual shape, is the stabilizer bar that runs along the top of the guitar and then joins the headstock. And this arrangement, while it's a little awkward, and as many years as I've been playing it, it's still very unusual to look across and see this bar paralleling the neck. It really does go a long way to adding a lot of stability to the guitar. And if you think about making adjustments to the neck, the whole physics of it, if you have something else that's giving support to the neck on the end, rather than just having a single piece of wood that's out there that you're trying to make adjustments to keep it from curving one way or the other, obviously it's a much more stable instrument. And the idea behind the stabilizer bar also was that it gave a support structure to the neck. It also, we have mixed materials here, a graphite stabilizer bar. It reduced some of the resonances that you can have in a guitar because you wanted every note to speak equally across the fretboard so that the synthesizer tracking would also be equally consistent. The electronics package in the G707 was a different package than what Roland had offered up to that point. They lost the hex fuzz distortion circuit, and it's not even featured in the GR700 synthesizer. But by doing that, they were able to make the electronics package smaller, make the guitar smaller, and then it was something that later on they sold as a Stratocaster retrofit kit called the STK1. Again, smaller electronics, it was easier to fit inside of other guitars. Now, the control plate on this guitar features the controls that you would have if you were using it with a Roland GR700. So we have master volume, guitar tone, and we have a synthesizer to guitar balance. And then we have a cutoff frequency edit control, LFO depth, and the mode switch. I actually have it hooked up to a GR300 right now. It's a little bit easier to demonstrate these features. And before I get too far down the road with the synthesizer features, let me come back to a few of the guitar things. First off, it's got two nice, warm, fat, humbucking pickups in the guitar, and hopefully you saw a little bit of that on the video demo earlier where I tried to go through some sounds. So that sort of takes it away from the Stratocaster model in that they did put in humbucking pickups here. And then also there's this interesting bridge, which to my mind is kind of like a Kahler copy, and it works pretty darn well. I did some pretty heavy-duty pitch diving, and the guitar pretty much came back in tune. I think that if there's room for improvement in the tremolo, I think design is really good. You can bend up or bend down. You can lock it down so that it'll only pitch bend down. The only suggestion, I think, when they were originally designing the guitars, maybe they could have done something a little bit better with the nut, because I think we do tend to get a little binding here in the nut when you're doing some of the pitch bending. So that could be, if you are using a G707 and you're not completely happy with the effect of the whammy bar, you might want to look there, because I think the actual mechanism that they put into the guitar is very, very well designed. And in some ways, this reminds me of the Ibanez IMG 2010, where the company just went out and said, let's come up with a whole new bridge specific for what we want to accomplish as a guitar synthesizer controller.